What is going on, guys? XHOUNDISHx here, and today I'm going to be talking about everybody's favourite PvP primary. It is the auto rifle. So a lot of people ask me to kind of discuss which auto rifles are the best inside of PvP, and as we know, auto rifles are not in the most ideal place as a primary for the Crucible, but we did have a little bit of a buff last week apparently in the December update, although it wasn't what we expected it to be because Bungie apparently messed up. Whatever happened there, they didn't really do much of a buff, but there are some semi-legitimate auto rifles out there. It really depends on the type of PvP content that you're playing. So anyway, I'm going to talk about which archetypes stand out and some good auto rifles you can pick up within these archetypes. So let's get it cracking. Up first, it's going to be the ultra high rate of fire, the 100 rate of fire, and 2 impact variety of auto rifles, such as the Doctrine of Passing, which has actually been fairly popular inside of PvP as far as auto rifles go recently. So these things can have relatively good stability and range. Obviously they excel at close range, and it's actually, like I said, one of the more popular AR archetypes inside of PvP. Even inside of Trials of Osiris, people will use auto rifles like this, because if you get your ranging right and you can land crits on people, then it's absolutely deadly. The Doctrine of Passing, or these 100 rate of fires in particular, actually have technically one of the highest time to kills of any PvP weapon. It's just that the way they handle doesn't necessarily support that, and the meta of PvP doesn't support that either. But they still have the same problems as general ARs. They can be outranged by most weapons, but seeing as auto rifles are only really effective in very close ranges, it makes these 100 rate of fire, you know, pretty much one of the best in the class for auto rifles. If you do want to use these high rate of fire auto rifles, there are some alternatives, such as the hack arminius-D, which you can get from the gunsmith, which is the same basic stats as the Doctrine of Passing, but of course you have the opportunity to get much better rolls out of it. So if you are a fan of these ultra high rate of fire auto rifles, or you want to use them in PvP and you don't have something like the Doctrine of Passing, then definitely look out for the arminius-D from the gunsmith. You can order that and then kind of wait to get some good rolls. So that is the super high rate of fire variety of auto rifles. They've never been the most popular in PvP, but right now, as far as ARs actually go, they're not too bad at all. So up next is that medium rate of fire and impact style of auto rifle. That's things like the Zalo Supercell, the Paleo Contact from Dead Orbit, and these are probably the best all-around archetype of auto rifle in PvP right now. The balance of the rate of fire and impact make it actually pretty solid as far as auto rifles go, and I feel like these styles of auto rifles actually can compete a little bit more with pulse rifles. Obviously, again, they're going to be close to medium range weapons. They're not going to survive at very long ranges against pulse rifles, hand cannons and scout rifles in particular, obviously, but these do cause quite a high flinch to the target, giving, you know, more of an opportunity for you as a player against other kind of meta weapons. The Zalo bonuses, obviously the chain lightning, are useful in some PvP situations if you get a hell of a lot of targets kind of stacked up together. Paleo Contact from Dead Orbit is also very good, and it's further kind of examples the capability of this style of AR. So overall, I feel like this thing is actually pretty balanced, and, you know, it's definitely in the top tier of PvP auto rifles. Alternatives to this will actually be Hakon's Hatchet, I think that's how you say it, which is the Iron Banner auto rifle. So obviously when Iron Banner rolls around, there is a chance we will be getting a decent PvP auto rifle. It has the same base stats, and we'll have to see what perks drop when it rolls around, but that's something to definitely look out for. Also, the Haki Zariana D and the Souris ARI 41, which you've seen some gameplay of right here, are two pretty capable auto rifles. Same archetype as the Supercell, like I said, and I feel like overall these auto rifles are probably the best auto rifles you will get for PvP. After that, I would say the Doctrine, the super high rate of fire auto rifles, are kind of the next most legitimate, but definitely these medium rate of fire and impact, as far as auto rifles go, are pretty damn awesome in PvP right now. So in this video, I feel like I've saved the best for first, which is kind of different for me, but now I'm going to talk about the lower rate of fire and higher impact variety of auto rifles, such as the Souris Regime. Now these to me definitely feel the most lackluster in PvP, especially after the patch. The slow rate of fire option on the Souris in particular is more accurate kind of than the alternative now. That's how it feels, and also it feels like it performs a little bit better after the December patch, but overall I feel like other weapons were going to outgun this archetype very easily, either in close range and long range. Now now. They are still usable weapons. The Souris is definitely still usable, but it just feels less powerful compared to the other archetypes of auto rifles and all of the other meta weapons. When you consider that pulse rifles are very strong, hand cannons have been improved and now are actually, pretty legitimate option. Scout rifles are very strong as well. Auto rifles are definitely down in the list, and I feel like these lower rate of fire ones just have such a slow time to kill against everything else that is their main disadvantage. Like I said though, they are usable if you want to use this style of auto rifle, and again, it depends on the type of content you are playing. In General Crucible, they're going to be much more usable than something like Trials of Osiris. Even Iron Banner is a lot more kind of meta dependent than general PvP. You will see more meta weapons being used in Iron Banner, so I wouldn't recommend necessarily using ARs in this kind of content, but if you want to, the Souris is pretty decent still. Other alternatives to similar weapons would be the Antipodal Hindsight, I think that's how it's said, from the Crucible. That is very similar to the Souris, and also the ARI-45 Souris from the Gunsmith. These are more options you have if you do want to use Souris Regime style of auto rifles, but overall, like I said, I think the generally most solid AR option are the medium rate of fire, such as the xHOUNDISHx Supercell and the Paleo Contact, and also the extreme high rate of fire Doctrine of Passing and the arminius-D are pretty, legitimate as far as ARs go. They still need some work, in my opinion, to be kind of competitive, because Bungie's idea seems to be that they are kind of close range weapons, but then they've buffed other things like the Last Word to be really, effective, because the Last Word is much better after the December update than it was prior to that. Not that it wasn't good before that, but you know what I'm saying. You're getting into that range with people where there are absolute kind of top dog weapons that just dominate in that territory. So I would still like to see a little bit of an auto rifle buff, a little bit more power put into auto rifles. Having said that, they're not my absolute favourite archetype of weapon. But anyway, guys, let me know down below how you feel about auto rifles. Do you ever use them in PvP, and what are your favourite auto rifles? Because I know some people absolutely love ARs and perform very well with them, so I'll be interested to see what you guys think. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, drop me a like and comment down below, and if you're new to this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to see a hell of a lot more Destiny content. But for now, you guys take it easy, and I will catch you very soon.